Hello, gorgeous dancers. If you do not know what to ever do with your arms and your hands and how to detail the upper part of your body, I think this might be helpful. Let's go down this rabbit hole together. Begin by just sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position and just bring your hands to your knees or to the ground, fingertips to the ground even. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to lift our arm up and down on a little angle here towards the corner of our room. So we all know that we can lift our arms up and down. Now let's try adding some rotation in the shoulder. Let's begin to internally rotate the shoulder. Lift the arm up, externally rotate the shoulder, bring the arm down. In and up, out and down. Now you can even focus on what's happening through the shoulder blade, the scapula itself. So the scapula might be coming into an anterior tilt here and a posterior tilt here. So moving away from the spine and in towards the spine. Now, what would happen if we bent our elbows on the way up and on the way down? So now adding a bend in the elbow, rotation through the shoulder, movement in the scapula. What would happen if we added resistance? So as if we were submerged in a big pool of molasses or maple syrup, because I'm Canadian. Let's see. So we want to push through our movement. Already it's beginning to add more quality to our movement. What else can we add? Well, what if we added some lateral flexion, leaning side to side? Let's see. In and up, out and down. In and up, out and down. What else can our upper body do? Well, we can create some flexion through the spine, some extension through the spine, whatever is comfortable. So what if we started with lateral rotation, maybe even adding a little bit of flexion, and then as we pulled up, retracting the shoulder blade, came into a nice high lift, a bit of extension through the spine. So now adding flexion through the front of our body and extension through the back of our body. What about our gaze? Where can we look? Maybe up and forward, maybe down and up. What about our hands, our fingers, our wrist? How can they add to the design of our aesthetic? I like to envision all of the energy being held in the extension of my wrist, and then softly just allowing that energy to linger in towards my fingertips. So maybe even playing with extending through the fingers, but not so much so that all of the energy is being passed there. I'm just feeling kind of like the residual energy kind of linger through my palm and out my fingertips. Maybe we start in a state of flexion and we begin to pull into the wrist, coming into that state of extension, and then allow the residual energy to linger through those fingertips. Down and up, down and up. We can also explore energy running through different fingers itself, maybe through the index finger, maybe through the pinkies. What if we incorporated that with the movement of our arms, the upper body, the trunk of our body? Once you've done that seated, see how it can translate when you're standing. Because now we can play with weight transfer in the legs and in the hips. So maybe we're just shifting our weight side to side, sitting our hips back as we go. And now we're adding more dimension, more levels. Resist. Feel what's happening through the rotation of the shoulders, the movement in the scapula. And if you are really focusing on creating resistance and tension in your body, again, pushing through your movement, you're going to feel your core, your obliques engage as well. Your arms can push forward. You can think of creating smoke patterns with your arms, with your wrists, with your fingers, with your whole body. I know that might sound a little woo-woo, but it translates really beautifully with everything we do. For example, let's take a traditional drag and pull. What if we detailed that, doing what we just did with a free arm? So when we are trying to detail movement in our upper body, our arms, our wrists, our fingers, our spine, just think of the physiology of our body, how our body moves. It can bend side to side, front and back. It can rotate in and out. It can abduct and adduct, open and close. And just think of exploring all of that slowly, pushing through your movement. Again, a nice visual to have is think of blowing out a candle and the interesting smoke patterns that it makes. Imagine your body creating that pattern. I hope that was helpful.